Hello students, today we start with a new chapter, that is electricity, which comes under the physics. So who invented electricity? Electricity invented by Benjamin Franklin in 1752. Okay, this is the who inventor of the electricity. And come for the introduction of the electricity and what it goes and how it is going to take place. See, Thomas Edison, you are very well known about the scientist, isn't it? So Thomas Edison was invented the long last electric light bulb in 1878. Okay, he is the one who invented the bulb, we all know that. Okay, fine. So what do you mean by this electricity? How many forms are there this electricity? This electricity, we have two forms. One is static electricity and the one is dynamic electricity. What do you mean by this static electricity? Static electricity in the sense when we rub each other, when the transformation of charges from one body to another body is called static electricity. When we rub to each other, which we are going to get some heating effect, isn't it? That's one is called static electricity. When come for the dynamic electricity, this shows that main our chapter. So all the electricity or the using electricity what we are using in our home comes under this dynamic electricity. This one, what is the definition of this one? See, flow of electric charges through conductor in one direction. In the case of this dynamic electricity, the flow of the electricity will be only in one direction. This is how we are going to discuss. Fine. We will dive deeply into that. What is the dynamic electricity and what it takes place and everything. See, moving in one direction, there is something is moving. See, in one direction there is something is moving. What is moving? The moving is the electric charges. Okay, so electric charges inside the wire actually moving in one direction, we are going to call it as a dynamic electricity. Let's dive deep under this electric charges. What is the electric charges? Listen here carefully, my dears. Whatever the topic you are going to learn, the introduction part of that is most important. Why? Because that makes you to get a perfect idea about the base, which makes you to understand all the concept clearly. Fine. So what do you mean by this electric charges? This electric charges, we are going to differentiate it as a positive and the negative. In the 9th class, you have learned more about this atoms and everything, positive and the negative, isn't it? So in the case of this electric charges, also positive and the negative we have. What happens here? Like charges and unlike charges. Do you have any idea? What happens? Like charges always repel. Unlike charges always repel. Unlike charges always attract. The basic concept what just I told you about the like charges and the unlike charges, what you should know. And this next one is there are carriers and by the small tiny particles called subatomic particles. You know, as I already mentioned that there is a one wire, in that wire the charges is moving. Okay, fine, charges are moving. Which what makes them to move? Which one is carrying them? Okay, there's someone is helping them to move from one to another one, right? So that one we are going to call it as a subatomic particles. Okay, subatomic particles is the one which will make the charges to move in the wire. Okay, fine. So here for the positive we have the protons and for the negative we have the electrons. Okay, so this positive and the negative electrons which is moving by the subatomic particle inside the wire, we are going to call it as a charge. Okay, I think now you got the clear idea about the charge. Here I give the definition of the dynamic electricity. See, the flow of electric charge through the conductor in one direction is called dynamic electricity. Clear?